Arousing of mindfulness for the work of himself. Question is, do we have to arouse mindfulness? What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is one of those faculty, you can call it power, aspect of the mind, which creates quite a lot of confusion. When you ask somebody will tell you what mindfulness is, and you find that different people have got slightly different definitions of what mindfulness is. The reason why there's some confusion with mindfulness, or what people disagree with mindfulness, is because there's so many aspects of mindfulness. The best way to see mindfulness is it's like a question, which comes first, chicken or the egg, So with mindfulness, it all depends on which you start first. You start with chicken, you get an egg. Or if you start with egg, you get the chicken. When you have the chicken, you got the egg, and so on. It's circular. So if you start with the egg as mindfulness, chicken is a developed form of mindfulness, and then you get the egg again. You'll understand this when I explain a bit further about mindfulness. Because there are so many levels about mindfulness. And one of the closest explanations of mindfulness is awareness, right? Is awareness mindfulness? Or is awareness not mindfulness? Well, the answer is awareness is also mindfulness. And the very first thing about mindfulness is the very basic. Mindfulness is a recollection, right? A recollection of an object. In Buddhism, or in life, dependent origination is a process which goes on all the time. With dependent origination, it's always contact. And contact with an object, right? With contact, feeling arises. With feeling, then you have craving, desire, or whatever. So the first point of anything is the contact with an object. That's where the recollection comes in, right? Because we want to develop skillful qualities, we have to have contact with something that is skillful. So we have an object. And this object that we usually use is the breath, or whatever. Some people use the body. So we use the breath as an object, which the mind can recollect and contact. Alright? So that's the whole purpose. So the reason why we have to have this recollection in the first place is because of our attention. Our attention always wanders the things that it's interested in, sound here, beautiful object there, great idea, that's how our mind flips from one thing to another. So mindfulness as its basic is recollecting back the breath, remembering the breath, remembering the breath, right? keeping in contact with the breath. And one of the qualities, a requirement for the arousing of mindfulness is alertness. We have to be alert when the mind starts moving from its attention from one object to the next. If the alertness is not there, then we are lost. And we're supposed to be watching the breath. The next minute we are talking about what we are going to do tomorrow. Like, oh yes. So we bring our mind back. So bringing the object back, bring the mind back to the object is also mindfulness. Alright? Recollecting, bring the mind back to the object of attention, of contact. That is also mindfulness. As sustaining that contact is also mindfulness. So it has to do with recollection, remembering, sustaining. So that is the beginning. Our mind is just like a child, just interested in one thing, goes to another thing. So like a teacher who goes into the class, and the first thing he does is get the attention of the children, right? So that's the attention we do. Get the attention of the children first. And then only you can really talk to the children or instruct the children. And after a while, the children's attention goes away, then you've got to bring the attention back. Bring the attention back, bring the attention of the children back. So it's the same as this mindfulness. We have to keep bringing the attention back. That, like I say, depends on the alertness. Alert to when the attention has shifted or drifted. Now, is alertness mindfulness? Alertness is also mindfulness, right? Alertness is also mindfulness which has developed, this has changed, right? So you have to start from somewhere, right? You start with recollection, and when you recollect, you try to keep your mind alert, right? You try to keep your mind alert. Make sure it doesn't run away. Another quality which will support mindfulness is keenness or ardent, right? Fervor, intent, right? These two qualities, ardent, keenness, and alertness, they all come to defilement. One is laziness, indolence, and the other one is drowsiness. So alertness is the opposite of drowsiness. Keenness is the opposite of laziness. So in the beginning we got to bring in these qualities of alertness, of keenness, and this keenness, enthusiasm is also an aspect of mindfulness. Mindfulness develops that. So you can see when you develop mindfulness, you can also realize that the mind becomes more alert. You maintain that. You keep the interest in what you're doing so that the mind doesn't wander. So like I say, the chicken and egg problem, you start with recollection, right? Which is the egg. And then it turns to alertness, which is the chicken, right? So both of them are aspects of mindfulness. Without mindfulness, the mind is scattered, right? It might just flirt from one thing to another. It can't. People say, well, I don't have concentration. It's not they don't have concentration, it's because they don't have mindfulness, which holds the mind together, right? The mind is distracted. Because again, with dependent origination, because of contact, feeling arises. So different contact will create different feeling. And the contact of an object which creates the greatest feeling will divert your mind towards that feeling. Because it wants to indulge in that feeling and it forgets what it's doing next. So mindfulness guards it, right? That's the when mindfulness has developed from the point of recollection, from the point of remembering, from the point of sustaining it, it guards it, it protects it. In the sutta, the Buddha described mindfulness is just like the treasure of the king. It reminds the king daily, in the morning, in the afternoon, the treasures of the king. That's recollecting, telling the king, just mind, you know, this, recollecting all the time. And when mindfulness has developed to the point that it's able to protect and guard the mind from running away, the sutta gives an analogy of a driver of a wagon. Make sure that the wagon goes at an even pace. Make sure that the wheels doesn't come off the wagon. Make sure everything's okay. You know, so it ensures the smooth running of the wagon. So guarding the mind, protecting the mind, is another aspect of mindfulness. Now I want to talk about the role of mindfulness and concentration. We all know that there are the two different kinds of practices. One they call samatha practice, which is calm meditation. Another one is vipassana, which is insight meditation. And both of them use mindfulness in different ways. And I'll go through it quickly. With mindfulness and concentration, in the beginning when we're practicing samatha, calm meditation, we still have to start, by every beginner, whether you're doing vipassana or samatha, we have to keep bringing the mind back to the breath, recollecting what you're doing. You're not sitting there imagining things, but just watching the breath. Right? So that's the first job of mindfulness. Then as you progress further, you're able to keep the mind on the breath. You're able to follow the breath. Right? Mindfulness has developed the second stage where it has the selective quality. Before that, it has the quality of it has this quality of observing what arises, right? Without following it. You know, it just realizes, oh yeah, I'm thinking, well, that's a nice thought, you know, but it doesn't follow it. Well, that's a thought which dislike or whatever it is, but it doesn't follow it. So mindfulness is just watching, it just stands back, right? So you can say that mindfulness has developed to the third state where you are watching it and you're not involved in it. So you have that strength and I'm not being pulled, right, towards whatever arises, right? Depending on the feeling, right? It all depends on the feeling, of course, because the dependent origination always so. But if the feeling is very strong, you get lost to it, you know. So, but if whatever that arises, the feeling is not too strong, you're able to watch it, right, and stay with whatever you're doing. That's the stage it has gone to. Right? So that's still the stage of even in calm meditation, we are only at that state of keeping the mind with the breath, trying to develop calm. It's not too bad. Now that is the state when developed, goes on to a state where you can select, right? You can maintain skillful state and let go of states that are unskillful. So that's the state where we start overcoming the hindrances, the 5 hindrances. Now in the sutta, it is compared to the advisor to the king. So advise the king, this is good, you know, this is bad, it's not so good, this is tasty, this is the best way to do. So it's the advisor. So at that stage when mindfulness has developed to where we can select, then we are managed to be able to let go of the hindrances, just pay less attention to the hindrances, and spend more time on something which is skillful. So when that develops, there'll come to a time where mindfulness is strong enough to maintain skillful state and not allow the unskillful states to arise, right? Because it's sustaining. Don't forget that mindfulness is like anything, it arises and passes away, right? So it's not there all the time, but we keep it continuous. You know, it arises and passes away, it arises and passes away. But because we maintain it seems as though we have it's continuous. So once it arises and passes away quite regularly, it maintains its own steadiness. Right? In the practice of calm meditation and samatha, the next thing that arises is joy, right? Pity. Another definition, another interpretation of piti, P-I-T-I in Pali, is interest, right? We develop this interest in the prayer, you know. Pay attention to it, we develop this interest, and this joy arises. And this joy arises, gives us this energy to continue doing it, right? So, the role of mindfulness at that time is maintaining the skillful state. At that time, it's just maintaining the skillful state. And the role of concentration is to keep when you get to the stage of the first jhana, you have what they call vitakka and vichara. Now vitakka is, well, there are lots of translation, and I don't really like some the translation. One of them is applied thought, you know, applying your thought towards an object, whatever is it. It could be an object of concentration, it could be the breath, or some people develop nimitta, an image, you know. So that's you keep hitting, applying the thought. The other aspect that you have is vichara. That's kind of polishing. Well, that's one of the things, you know, sustained thought. It's a kind of polishing, sustaining. Best way to see it, the way I see it, is concentration is applied. Remember, when you're doing calm meditation, you only have to look after two things, and that's concentration and mindfulness. Everything develops from these two. So concentration is just like you're holding on a picture on a wall, you know. So while you're looking for something, or wiping the wall. So concentration is just the holding, and then the wiping is the mindfulness, right? Or you're searching for a nail or a hammer, right? So that you can nail this picture on the wall. Now it's easy to hold on and do whatever thing else that you're doing if the picture frame is not, the picture is not heavy. But when it's heavy, then you have to have a lot of concentration, right? You've got to stick it to the wall, hold it onto the wall while you're doing other things. While you're doing other things, if that's heavy, that means it will drop, right? Or you want to keep it there, right? So this whole thing, that's the concentration, right? Whatever you're doing else, that's the mindfulness, right? So you got to do two things at the same time, right? Okay? If you start looking for things, forget about things, that thing drop, right? If you keep your concentration, that's useless. You can't do anything else, right? You cannot look for things with, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, look for your nail or hammer or whatever. So you have this balance, right? So that's when you're in your first jhana. That's where you have vitakka and vichara. So you keep hitting the thing, you keep doing that. That's the first jhana when you do that. When your concentration is developed, When the mindfulness has developed, then this is, right? They combine together. Alright? So you don't have to hold it anymore. Alright? Pity, joy arises. Right? It sticks to the wall now. Right? It sticks to the wall. You let go a bit, you know. It sticks to the wall. Somehow you probably press it and it sticks to the wall, so you're okay now. So you don't have to, because the mindfulness and concentration is there. So joy arises at the second jhana, as the joy arises. Now this joy itself is dangerous because it's quite intense, right? It can be intense, you know, and you may lose it, you know, picture may start shaking, right? And you may forget about it and you just enjoy this joy, right? And you lose the concentration and mindfulness. You lose the balance there. It has to be balanced. So what you do is that you learn to absorb this joy, right? And the joy arises. You can't. First thing is bodily joy or mental joy. Is that you feel there is to it. You know, you feel, oh, it's great. You know, that sort of thing. You know, and you're lost. You know, and come out from meditation, you forget you're doing things. So you learn. So the mind is like that. You know, whatever we enjoy, right? Get used to it. So you get used to the joy the second time you sit. Although the joy increases, we are able to accommodate it. Right? Able to accommodate it. And joy, bodily joy, wow, that's good. Yeah, but it's okay, your mind is still calm. So it comes to a point where when mindfulness has developed further, the purpose of mindfulness is to disregard what's not essential, right? And only bring the mind towards what's essential, what's important. So it starts calming the mind, right? So when it starts calming, the joy turns into happiness. Right? In the third jhana, you have happiness as the primary factor. So within that itself, mindfulness and concentration is always balanced. Right? And when you come to have happiness, you can't really distinguish between mindfulness and concentration combined together, and the result is happiness. So you can't really distinguish between mindfulness and concentration. Alright? The result is happiness. You know that mindfulness is there. You know that concentration is there. You can detect that, yes, this mindfulness, that's concentration. You know it, but you can't sort of previously like say, wow, you have to maintain mindfulness, I have to put concentration here, I have to develop mindfulness. But then it comes together. Comes to a point where the role of mindfulness is unification. It unifies awareness and concentration. If that happens, you go to the fourth jhana. That's when mindfulness is at its very strong. It's very strong. And that the role of mindfulness is also keeping away whatever is not essential. It is keeping the calm. Develop, it becomes equanimity. Concentration becomes one-pointedness. So in the fourth jhana, turns into one-pointedness and equanimity. So that's the unification of the mind. And you are undisturbed. You're equanimous, nothing disturbs. Well, nothing arises anyway. So what happens when you are in that stage? When you have the strength of mindfulness and the strength of concentration, you get intuition. Right? Things arises. Insight arises. Wisdom arises. Knowing arises. You don't have to do anything. Right? It just arises. Whatever wherever your attention is placed, that arises. And what of the intuition that arises, right? Apart from insight, wisdom, knowing. If you get a I'm quoting this things from Sutta now. It's one of the things that arises, you can develop a divine ear, right? Which is being able to hear sound, near and far. You have you're able to lots of other things, which is that's very what I'm talking about is something which is very advanced, Another thing which intuition which arises is your past lives. You can see your own past life. I can see past lives of people, other people. What else arises? So that's a very advanced state. When concentration, mindfulness develop, at that point when there's the unification of the mind, at that stage the mind is very powerful. We'll come back to the world where we are now. Now we're going to see mindfulness, and in Vipassana is mindfulness and investigation. Alright? Now to investigate something, we have to, same thing as well, to investigate something, an emotion. What is this? What's this emotion? Is it anger? Is it hate? Is it resentment? They're all so close. You can't pinpoint it. But to do that, before even you do that, you got to recollect that feeling. That's where mindfulness does. Start recollecting, keeping the mind on the object of you're looking at, right? That's the first step. And once you're able to hold it, right, guard it, right? Then you are able to investigate it. Right? So you see, then you're able to identify. Once you're able to hold it, then you're able to see. So the holding of it is the mindfulness. Right? And when you, with concentration, you're able to see it, then you know what it is. Whether it's resentment or is it hate. Right? Once you see it, then you can see what causes it, what comes before it, what causes the rising of this feeling. Right? What object, what situation. Right? So that's part of recollection. Right? To be able to trace back the origin of this feeling. So once we know the cause, right, then we get the insight, you know, what caused this feeling in the first place, first cause, you know. So when we find the first cause, then we know our conditioning. Right? Why is this color blue? Whenever I see it, I got this dislike, this hate, right? Whatever it is, you know. So we find the cause. Why do I like this person? Why don't I like this person? Ah, remember, yes, he looks like somebody which I don't like, you know. That's all I say. Oh, I like this person. Oh, it's got these eyes that belong to the actress I like. It's got this beautiful hazel eye. That's it. You know. That is the work of insight. To be able to do it, you have to be able to hold it. And then concentrate and find the cause. You don't have to hold it that long. Maybe you have to hold it, say, 3 seconds. It's a long time. You can hold it for 3 seconds. Right? But to hold a thought 3 seconds, not that easy, you know, without wavering, you know. You will see it. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Then you will go. Okay, we'll that's the path of insight. Investigating. Where does the path of insight lead to? Well, in Vipassana, we are supposed to look at impermanent. We have to look at impermanent, because that's the quality that it's inherent in everything that arises. We are told it's impermanent. We are told that it doesn't have an essence, you know. We understand that. The whole purpose is to see it, not with the mind, but with the heart. When you see with the heart, that's true knowing. You know, to be able to see that things really arises and then passes away. You can see the arising of things, and it doesn't stay long, and then it passes away. So in that, when we come to do that practice, we require strong mindfulness and concentration to do that, to be able to maintain that state, to be able to see it. And with the investigating, you find that we dissect things, we find out that things are just sum of the parts. You know, you want to see the things as just sum of the parts, and the whole is just the sum of the parts. That the whole is thing that we see is just a creation of the mind. Right? We want to be able to see that ideas are different from power. That a car is a concept, it's an idea. That wing mirrors, seats, steering wheels, wheel, exhaust pipe, they're all parts. Put together becomes a car. Right? But we're always dealing with cars as if it exists. You know, talk about cars as if it exists, you know. So we come to see with insight, we come to see things as they are. Right? A car is a concept. A part contains part. Even the wing mirror is a concept. Right? The steering wheel is a concept. Right? So they are made of parts, plastic, leather, whatever. And so we start breaking things down. Start breaking things down. Until everything that's material, we can break it down to just concrete element, or molecules, or whatever you want it. You know? And everything just shapes. You know? So we start breaking things down to see it. Then we can, when we start doing that, then we come to realize that most of the times we are dealing with just ideas, concepts, which I refer to identity in my in all my talk. Something we create in our mind, something that's we create in the mind, give it lots of attribute, and project it outside. The thing out there that we see, we can never know, right? Because what we can know is through 5 senses, right? You want to see visual images, right? That's all we see, visual images. Nothing. 2 images at the end of, at the back of the eye, and we have this world, right? 3-dimensional, right? Just like a waking dream, right? And what's frightening you see, I know this person, you know? You can tell everything about this person. How much do we know? Right? You get bits of information, bits of gossip, you know, bits of inference, and then we create them. Wow, this is a bad person. He's a good person. I like him because of this. I dislike him because of this. It's all my creator. We create ourselves. With all the information that's supplied to us, our friends say, oh, he's good, you know, he treat me back well. So we put a good feeling. Yeah, I put a good feeling, this identity you create of the person. You create a bad feeling or identity of another person. So the path of insight is to look, to come to know, separate things out. So we know things as they are. As they are. The things that we make up, we come to realize these are things we make up. Keep in mind, you're collecting, these are things we make up. It's not true, not sure. You know, I've just met this person, you know, half an hour, I got feelings for that person. Half an hour, the person, you know, probably is, what, 30 years old, 20 years old, 50 years old, there are lots of things about that person which I don't know. But in half an hour I can size him up. Yeah, I kind of, that kind of situation, you know, I'm very sure of it, you know, I'm sure I don't like him. I'm sure I like him, I'm going to get on very well with him, you know. Half an hour. So we got to be careful. The things that our mind make up. always say we're not sure, you know. So that path of insight is when we come to see things as they are, then we can let go of things. Don't become too attached to things. Right? You're not attaching to things, you're just attaching to the identikit that we have created. That's all. You create things, looks great, fall in love with it, attached to it, suffer because of it. Our own creation. Hate it, get angry with it, can't sleep, worry about it. Our own creation. We fall for our own creation. If we do not investigate things. Right. We have to really investigate, see things. And we come to see things as they are, then we know that things happen due to a cause. Alright? Dependent origination, our conditioning, our past conditioning, it's with us. And we're conditioning ourselves. Books we read, people we know, teachers, friends, conditioning us. So that's all this conditioning. So we don't follow our conditioning. Alright? Stop. That's where mindfulness comes in. Awareness comes in. You stop that conditioning. We're low. Then you're able to respond to things as they are without a preconceived idea about what this person is like, what's going to happen next. Huh? So you are really living in the moment because you are mindful, you're watching, you're seeing, huh? And not thinking, and not supposing, assuming. And at the end, we stop making things up. We're fed up making things up. You know it's not real. Well, that's where mindfulness is that stronger. We stay at perception. On contact, we stay at perception. Perceive things as they are. Right. 2 minutes past 6. Yeah, I think I'll stop at that. It goes further, to be liberated, then go a bit further on that. But start with recollecting, maintaining the object of you're working with.